Greetings, friends. I'm coming to you from our new home in Dallas. Rivers and I live downtown in a high-rise apartment for 4.5 years and decided that it was time to move into a house. So we purchased a home this past winter, just moved in, and just want to share something that happened very recently. Rivers loves sitting on our balcony overlooking the Dallas downtown area, and across from us was a park. And in that park were a number of egrets, kind of birds like herons that roosted. And they'd fly around. They were quite large and quite beautiful. And we moved into this home in Dallas, in just north of downtown, a residential area with just normal trees and so on. And Rivers would comment often about, I miss those egrets. She just really loved watching them, perch themselves in those trees and fly around. And she said, I don't know, for some reason, that was something she really missed. Those large egret birds that kind of circled our apartment area. Well, a couple of nights ago, my son looked out the front window of our new home, and right in this hackberry tree in our front yard was perched an egret. And he said, Mom, there's a big bird in this tree. Come look at it. So she went over and looked at it and said, my goodness, that's an egret. She couldn't believe it. And then all of a sudden across the street in a live oak tree, an egret bird kind of swept down and landed in that tree. And then the one in our tree kind of flew off and then flew back into that tree across the street. So the next morning she got up and looked, and she hadn't seen them since then. But we were talking about that, and she said, really, I think God just gave me sort of the desire of my heart. She said, I really miss those birds. This may seem like a simple thing or a little thing, or almost maybe a meaningless thing to most people. But I want to tell you something. When Rivers saw that egret perched in that tree in our yard, in a regular residential area, it just really softened her heart. And she thought, God really just has a way of making us feel good, just loving on us with the simple things of nature. Here, a downtown area with a large park and large trees with a number of egrets. And here we are several miles away in a residential area, and all of a sudden here is this beautiful egret perched in our tree in our front yard. And Rivers later said, I think that was a sign from God. And I said, what do you mean a sign from God? She said, it was a sign from God telling me that he loves me and he remembers me, remembers my joys and the things that make me happy. And she said, I really believe God had that egret land in our tree on this street to show me just, how much he loved me. Now, I don't know what your takeaway is on this, but I listened to her and I thought, you know what? God really touched her. He really touched her heart. Something she enjoyed, something she liked, not something she really coveted or needed, but something she just really appreciated. All of a sudden, God fulfills that inner desire in her heart by placing this very large bird, this egret, in our yard here in Hackberry. We've settled into this house. We call it God's house. We've anointed it with oil, every door, every window, and we've declared it his home, and we are simply stewards of it. And Rivers and I are truly looking forward to many opportunities to minister to God's people as they come in and out of our new home here in Dallas. So we've blessed it. We want to be a blessing to many, and I want to be a blessing to you. I hope this little story about the egret maybe has warmed your heart a little bit, maybe giving you a sense of hope about how God can fulfill the heart desires for his people, his children, people like you, people like my wife Rivers, people like me. It warmed my heart too, just to watch her expression, the joy that she had over this precious moment just a couple of nights ago, all right? So look, if you want to reach out to me, share your thoughts, hit the comment button right now on Facebook or go to my webpage, paulteskyministries.com. Send me a prayer request. I get those every day and I'm answering them from all over the world. And again, I've got that YouTube page, Paul Teskey YouTube Ministries there, and I've got over 300 teachings. Every time I do a video, we add those plus teachings and other seminars and things that I'm doing. But again, I'm reaching out. I hope you have a wonderful summer. It's been a little warmer here in Dallas, but God's over all things. He's in control of all things, even the weather. So we just thank him, not for the heat, but for the fact every day is a gift to us, a day he's made, and we're going to rejoice and be glad in it, regardless of the weather. Amen? Amen. And all God's people said, amen.